Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
Well, good day, good day. Welcome to another episode of the Rob Report. I'm your host, not Rob Report, the Bobby Brown Show on the go. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. Glad to see you guys today here with me on the show. It's been a long time as usual. You guys know I work a job, a 9 to 5 job. So not 9 to 5, but actually midnight to 8, but sometimes it's midnight to 12 at lunchtime. So, based on the YouTube algorithm, I'm not able to. I had to go back to work because I started losing subscribers, which means I'm not being able to get paid ad money. And again, guys, I never got into this for that. I would love to do this full time, but unfortunately, I'm not at the. I don't have the ability to do it right now because in New York City, the rent is too god high. Everything's high in New York City except nothing. I want to get into this. This is breaking news. You probably already heard about it, and I probably spelled her name wrong. And they used to say when it came to Breonna Taylor, say her name, say her name. Now I want to ask a question. Saying her name, what is that gonna do? Saying her name ain't gonna do nothing. This ain't the name of Jesus, where you invoke the name of Jesus and the blood of Jesus, church folks. In the name of Jesus and the blood of Jesus be upon you and the mercy. Saying a person's name isn't gonna get the results that you need to get done. It's being on an aggressive path of protest or boycott, of divestment, of getting on these people's nerves until they get what's done that you want to get done. So the news is Breonna Taylor killers, and I say killers. Yes, police officers are killers. Some of them admit to being killers. Some of them admit to how many times they kill somebody. Some of them even admit how many times they kill people in particular, specifically black people. You got gangs in the police department. You got cult groups in the police department. You got it all. And just like most gangs, you got to get jumped in the game to be a part of the gang. And a lot of times, in order to be a part of this gang, the police gang, somebody got to die. And that's your mark of being ushered in the not the fraternal order. I don't know what the fraternal order, this police union. I don't know what they do. But some kind of satanic, demonic, diabolical police cult group that puts you in line of a brotherhood that no matter what, we got your back. See, folks, I've been married to a police officer. She scooped me in on the game. Some of these people are in cults. The police department is a cult group in some cases. That precinct, that particular order, those particular pals, that particular group, especially when they're involved with crimes themselves. Especially when they believe the money that New York City or whatever city is paying them is not enough. I need that big dollar. I need that big cheddar. Well, again, this is not about this, but yes, Breonna Taylor killers were police officers. Now, you know the story. They got a so-called no-knock warrant to go after a suspect that was known to be with Breonna Taylor. The suspect wasn't a boyfriend, but they felt the need. They had to bust into our house unannounced and kill this woman butt ball naked. Her boyfriend trying to defend himself, because when somebody is trying to attack you, I don't care if you're the president, the pope, or police department, you have a right to defend yourself. You have every right that if you think somebody's trying to tase you for no reason, you have every right to move that taser out the way. If somebody's trying to shoot you with a gun, you got every right to try to get that gun out of his arm. I don't care who it is, because you have a right to defend yourself. Nobody should be pulling out anything on you unless they felt that you're a danger to them. And you are not a danger running away from the police. Some of these police so fat, slobby, and overweight and so much a punk that they hate the fact that this Negro made me run. So I just, you know me, buddy, I don't like running. I hate that running stuff, boy. Oh, I hate it when them niggers make me run. Next nigger make me run, I got sun fuzz behind. I'm gonna run these bullets up there behind, boy. He gonna wish you never made me run after him. And they get to him. Boy, you realize what you just did? What, sir? I made you run? I almost fell down and bust my behind. Guys, you too much of a punk to let the guy live another day, and you go for him another day. You just got to bring him in. I showed a video of two female cops trying to apprehend this white guy. The white guy was pulling them around. They trying to punch the dude and everything to try to get him to comply. The dude was like, hell no, I'm out of here. Peace. We don't know what got him in that situation. People assume, well, you should have been running for the police. Police could be breaking the law, trying to arrest you, and that's not right. If you have not been committed a crime or suspect of a crime, you do not have to stay in most states. You're free to go. That's why you need to know your laws, and that's the reason why I tell people about my program, Legal Shield, because we educate you on the laws, and we not only educate you, we protect you, and we execute your defense when it comes to those laws. But that's another story. Breonna Taylor, killer's charge. I put by the FBI. Yeah. Might well say FBA. The FBA put the pressure, Foundation of Black Americans putting pressure on somebody. No, that's supposed to be the FBI. Let's get into this story. Let's get into it. Let me see. See right here, my boy Neek. I chose CNN because CNN is going to turn this into it was because of Democrats, it was because of Joe Biden, and because of your votes, blah, 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 blah. And it had nothing to do with that. 4 current former Louisiana police officers fairly charged in Breonna Taylor's death. 4 current. Former. Now, how can you be current? How can you be former? That's an oxymoron. Are you still a police officer or are you not? The writer of this article is Elliot C. McLaughlin, Sonia Mokeeg, and Hannah Rabinowitz. Probably no black people. 4 current and former Louisiana police officers. I'm still trying to figure it out. I guess one of them that was fired, but the 4 still on the force. Those officers involved in the deadly raid on Breonna Taylor's home, including detectives who worked on a search warrant and an ex-officer accused of firing blindly into her home. Yes, folks, they were flying. They said bullets was going inside the house. That's how much of a punk and a pussy they were, that they had to shoot into the home without even going through the door. This is what witnesses had said. This is what evidence based on the shellings around the house was going on. Having been charged with civil rights violation. Civil rights violation isn't going to put police in jail for a long time. And other counts. Attorney General Merrick Garland said Thursday. Now, Merrick Garland is trying his best to seem like he's pushing a particular agenda. Merrick Garland. Remember, Merrick Garland is the one that the Democrats was trying so hard not to get into the Supreme Court. But he made it anyway. The changes marked the first federal court leveled against any of the officers involved in the botch raid. Even they admit that this was a botch raid. The charges marked the first federal count leveled against any of the officers involved. Any. In addition to civil rights offense, federal authorities charged the four with unlawful conspiracies. In other words, they planned this, and they was looking for ways to get this particular person. They end up looking for the wrong person. Well, they knew who they were looking for, but Breonna Taylor was not with that guy anymore. A long time ago. They're also charged with unconstitutional use of force and instruction, Garland said. Now you notice, people, they're not being charged for murder, according to what Merrick Garland says, our Attorney General says. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. Merrick Garland is the Attorney General. He's Biden Attorney General. And this is a case because Biden is losing so much support when it comes to the black vote or potential black vote that they'll do any and everything other than pay freaking reparations to try to appease to you. They'll do something to appease to you. Jean Pierre, she's a gay, she's black, she's a woman, she's an immigrant. That'll appease to 4 different types of people. No, it won't. No, it won't. Merrick Garland sitting here talking about all the charges. None of them is murder. None of them is murder. Taylor's mom, Tamika Palmer, said she waited 874 days. 874 days, over 2 years, almost 3 years, waiting for a federal judge to bring federal charges to be filed, and has beaten everything since to break her. Again, I read, federal charges to be filed and has beaten everything sent to break her. Her daughter's death has taken her to a place that we can't even imagine, she says. So for the lack of justice, for the lack of concern, for the love of the blue or the blue line, everybody from the Attorney General of that particular state, old coon brother, to Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, was not trying to push to help these people out until it's almost time for midterms. 874 days. Biden been in office for almost 2 years. 2. That's 600 days plus. This lady's going crazy. She's losing her mind because she can't get the justice that she deserves. The daughter that she loved, the one the whole community loved. EMT. Out there risking her life, catching COVID and dying when COVID was an all-time rapid high. We ain't had no vaccine. She's going every night out there risking herself in an ambulance, getting COVID to die, and she got to come home to this. A raid in her home, unlawful raid, killing her. She said, every day's been March 13th for me, referring to the day Taylor was killed in 2020. Former detective Joshua James, 40, Detective Kelly Goodlett, Sergeant Kyle Meany were charged with not murder, not first, not second, not even 10th degree. Charged with submitting a false affidavit to search. That's it. False affidavit to church. Taylor's home ahead of the Louisiana Metropolitan Police Department raid, and then working together to create a false cover story and attempt to escape responsibility for their roles in preparing the warrant affidavit that have contained false information according to the court documents. False information. Ex-Detective Brett Harkinson is alleged to have willfully used unconstitutional excessive force when he fired his service weapon into Taylor's apartment through a covered window and a covered glass door. Covered. Using excessive force when he fired his service weapon into Taylor's apartment through a window and the door. He is charged with depriving Taylor and the guests in her home of their constitutional rights by firing shots through a bedroom window that was covered with blinds and a blackout curtain, the U.S. Department of Justice said. The 46-year-old also faced charges of depriving 3 of Taylor's neighbors of their constitutional right, and according to the indictment, the bullets he fired traveled through a wall in Taylor's home into an adjacent apartment. That's how reckless they are with the bullets. James or Haynes or whatever his freaking name is, or Meany, stand accused of willfully depriving Taylor of her constitutional right by drafting and approving false affidavit to obtain a search warrant while knowing the affidavit contained false and misleading statement, omitted material facts, relied on state information, my glasses can't see that far, and was not supposed to be probable cause. The Department of Justice statement says that both men knew that their execution of the search warrant would be carried out by armed LMPD police, Louisiana Metro Police. I guess it's Kentucky, Louisville. Officers, and should create a dangerous situation both for those officers and for anyone happening to be in Taylor's home, which it was. Goodlett conspired with James or Haynes or Payne, it don't matter, Meany, to falsify the search warrant to Taylor home and to cover it up in actions afterwards, the statement say. Haynes and another detective tried to cover up their action by drafting a bogus investigative letter. A bogus investigative letter for you people where the cops are good cops, and the cops, they ain't mean no harm. She shouldn't have did, or he shouldn't have did it. He shouldn't have pulled his gun in his own house to try to protect his woman, and who, get out of here, people. Haynes and another detective. Police officers, your law enforcement officer, your protect and serve, your boys in blue, tried to cover up their action by drafting a bogus investigation letter. They tried to cover this up. Cops cover things up when they do things wrong. When they're about to do something wrong, they'll find a way to cover it up. They are not all innocent standby and all sweet and kind and, oh, look at my kids, I want my child, I want my baby girl to be a police officer. Yes. A lot of them are megalomaniacs with mental issues and psychotic issues. I know, because I was married to one. But let me stop. We had our good days and we had our bad days. Haynes falsified a report in hopes of impending a criminal probe into Taylor's death. Haynes falsified. He falsified a report in hopes to impeding on the criminal probe into Taylor's death. In other words, he was trying to block anybody from looking into this, I call, planned, strategized, in a war room meeting to kill Taylor and her boyfriend. Who knows why? There's a reason why. Meany also made false statements. The statement said, Goodlett and James or Haynes met in the garage weeks after the botched raid and conspired to relay falsified information to investigators, the Attorney General alleged. We allege that Miss Taylor's Fourth Amendment right were violated when defendants Joshua James, Cal Meany, and Kelly Goodlett sought a warrant to search Miss Taylor's home, knowing the officers lacked probable cause to the search, Garland said. In other words, we're not going to be touching them about them murdering her. It's these other things, constitutional filing, the constitution stuff like that. We'll do it for that, but we ain't gonna do it for murder for her. We're gonna find something we can slap them on the wrist and let them go, or we'll lock them up 5 years and let them out. We'll find some way to accommodate these guys for their dumbness or their wrongdoing or their right doing. We allege that Miss Taylor's Fourth Amendment right, here we go again, were violated when defendants Joshua James, Cal Meany, and Cal Goodlett sought a warrant to search for Miss Taylor's home, knowing the officers lacked probable cause for the search. In other words, they was not even qualified. Nobody was given a search warrant for this particular situation. So they had to put one out of the crack of their behind, and they did. The affidavit falsely claimed officers had verified that the target of their drug trafficking investigation had received packages at Taylor's address, but Haynes and Goodlett knew that was not true, Garland said. They knew it wasn't true. They lied. Cover up, scheming. Police officers. Your favorite boys, Republicans. Got it back, blue boy. We need more police officers. Ain't that right, Joe Biden? We need to put 100,000 more police officers on the force. Forget giving black people money and forget about criminalizing police. This is as good as going to get. Your murder will find another reason to charge you, and then we'll let you out on those charges. We allege that Ms. Taylor's Fourth Amendment rights was violated when defendants Joshua James, Calamari, and Kelly Goodlett sought a warrant to search Mrs. Taylor's home, knowing the officers back probate calls for this search. Guys, you got to bear with me. I got these glasses on. I can't see that well out of them. The affidavit falsely claimed officers had verified that the target of the drug trafficking investigation had received packages at Taylor's address. In other words, they lied about packages, seeing what she was getting packages, and we believe those packages had drugs, so that's why we raided it. What, she can't get nothing from Amazon? It's a pandemic out there. Everybody was getting stuff from Amazon, TVs, you name it. Black people can't get no package without y'all thinking something's in the package? But James and Goodlett knew that was not true, Garland said. James appearing virtually from a detention facility wearing shorts and polo, where he should be, but he shouldn't have shorts on and a polo. That fool should be in orange or stripes, or wearing an electric chair on his butt. Anyway, they entered a not guilty plea. Of course, that's what the advisor attorney gonna do it. Tell them to do, because this is nothing. These charges are nothing. Prosecutors are not requesting that he be detained pending trial, but they are asking that there be prohibited from contacting any possible witness and defendant in the case. In other words, they can go home. We charged them, but they can go home. So all out here celebrating yippee yay, yippee ki yay, and all that kind of stuff. They going to jail. They going to jail. No. According to this, James appearing virtually from a detention facility wearing shorts and a polo entered a not guilty plea. See, he was arraigned, so he had to put in his not guilty plea because they know they're going to get him out. Prosecutors are not requesting that he be detained pending trial. In other words, he's going to be able to go. But they are asking that he be prohibited from contacting any possible witness and defendants in the case. So he'd be able to go home. He can't talk to nobody that might be a witness or defendant in this case. Hankerson, who fired 10 shots. 10 shots. These trigger happy sons of 10 shots into Taylor home and was acquitted on state wanton endangerment charges earlier this year. Let me repeat it. He fired 10 shots into Taylor's home and was acquitted on state wanton endangerment charges earlier this year and was indicted on 2 federal counts of deprivation of rights under color of law. Harkinson attorney declined to comment. Only Harkinson was charged at the state level. In other words, these people are not going to charge him criminally. They're going to try to charge him some kind of hate crime to make it seem like we're doing something. No, these Negroes need to be in jail. Don't let these people off. Officers who carried out the search warrant were not involved in drafting the warrant and were unaware and contained false information, the Attorney General said. We share, but we cannot fully imagine the grief felt by Breonna Taylor's loved ones and all those affected in the events on March 13, 2020, Garland said. Breonna Taylor should be alive today. A conviction on the charges of willfully violating someone's rights carries a statutory maximum sentence of life in prison with the violation leading to death. According to the DOJ, a conviction on that obstruction count commands a maximum penalty of 20 years, and the conspiracy of false statement charges each carry a maximum sentence of 5 years, the department says. So what they're doing, they can't really get them on a, let me bring the picture back up. I know it's the FBI up there, but it's FBI. They cannot, they don't want to get on the murder charges, but they want to get them on the Constitution charges. And trying to make us think, well, we're going to be effective at locking these cops up using the Constitution because they violate the Constitution. Have you ever did that with anybody? Or are you just doing that with black people in this case? Well, we got a better chance of locking them up to the day they die or to the day they fry, or the day they take a lethal injected needle in the eye. We got a way to get them. Guys, I can guarantee you that the majority of these people are not going to be convicted. And if they do, it's a minimum sentence. And they'll be able to get a limo over to their jail cell and be able to do things that they've been wanting to do and come back by the end of the weekend. This is a shame. Now, I'm glad they're finding ways to charge them, and I'm glad these penalties hold up to, don't mean they ain't going to do it, life in prison. We need to continue to charge people locally. We need to continue to charge people federally, statewide, and federally when they commit crimes. You commit crimes in Virginia against a family member, a cousin, something like that, we're not only going for the penalty in that particular bracket. Not only are we going for a penalty to punish these police officers, we're gonna do whatever we can to lock them up. And you got to understand, folks, it's us Democrats. We're fighting for you, man. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Don't stick your chest in. Merrick, the Attorney General, is doing whatever he can to try to help Biden to get some black support. And that's the only reason why these things are doing it. They could have been used the Constitution on a whole lot of stuff. They could have used the Constitution on a whole bunch of people that's been killed, especially people who killed by police officers. You violated my rights. You had no reason to charge me, and you killed me anyway. So they always had these things that they could have been utilizing to charge people who harm black people, people who practice anti-black racism of all colors, creeds, shades, and sizes. We got that. Should have been using it all this time, but you haven't been using it. But now you want to use it. But why? Because you don't want to try these guys for straight up murder. And you should. And most of these guys are on administrative leave. In other words, they can go to Maui or somewhere and go to a beach and sip a Mai Tai or one of those drinks with the umbrellas in it, Bahama Mama on the beach, because they're suspended, but they're still getting paid with your tax dollars. At least something is being done. It's not enough. It's not enough. May they go the way. May they go the way of being more aggressive. If you're not going to use straight out murder, you find some kind of constitutional amendment and slap them in the face with it. There's no excuses why these bumbling bigot idiots, these sloppy, clumsy clowns should be in law enforcement officer number 1. They shouldn't have a job number 2. No job. In nothing. You go to a farm. Go to a prison farm and farm for free, you fools. At least something is getting done. Breonna Taylor killers get charged by the FBI. I meant the FBI. But that we, foundational black Americans, we charging you too. And all of you are guilty. All of y'all should be getting an electric chamber or whatever. I'm not, look, guys, I'm pro-life. Let me stop. But all of them need to get some kind of reprimand. All of them. I'm Bobby Brown with the Bobby Brown Show. I'll holler at you later. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure it's on always. And that way when we get a new video to come in, you can just drop in that box. Whoop, there it is. If you are appreciative of the show, you can buy me a cup of coffee at work tonight by putting about $3 to $5 in the PayPal account. No super chat, PayPal account. Anytime you want me. Anytime you want to. Guys, if I'm rambling, it's because I'm tired, but I had to say something about this news. I got a lot of news this week I need to come back on and talk to you guys about. And strategic stuff that we need to talk about. Breonna Taylor killers charged by the FBI. Yes, foundational black Americans have charged her and the FBI, charged the cops and the FBI to do your doggone job. Or we getting you up out of here. And Biden and the Democrats, you don't get no credit. Maryland Garland, he's doing this freaking job. Look what we done. No, you ain't do that. That's what Merrick Garland's supposed to do. I'll let you later, family. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. All right, let me find the exit. With this new software they just updated and it's acting up. And I'm trying to find my outro, and here we go. I think that was it. What am I doing wrong? I'm always doing something wrong. There we go. All right, I'll holler at you later. Peace.